Tonight, the CEO of Allbirds, new AI biz has a plan, but no employees. Billionaire Ambani wants AI in every call, app, and home. AI inference startup Baseten reportedly raising 1.5 B months after its last mega round, Rocket report. Rebuild begins at Blue Origin launch pad. Relativity targets Mars, and the US says ASML's top chip tool may be in China. ASML says it is. We start with the CEO of Allbirds. New AI biz has a plan, but no employees. The CEO of Allbirds. New AI biz has a plan, but no employees. When Allbirds pivoted to AI in April, it felt like a joke from Silicon Valley breaking free of the TV. The direct-to-consumer shoe purveyor whose flimsy kicks helped define what we'll loosely call Silicon Valley style had discovered a new trend to chase. The move was right out of the meme stock playbook written by GameStop. Take a troubled public company, latch on to the hottest fad, and reap the rewards of a rising stock price as retail investors pile in. Well, it worked. The company sold its shoe business for $43 million, raised another $100 million from the stock market, and now it's called SmartBird. Now Nadia Carlson has to make it work. A former AWS executive with an engineering PhD, Carlson most recently led the European compute company DCAI before she began yesterday as SmartBird's CEO. We're going to be recruiting a brand new team for the AI business, and we're going to be getting an office, Carlson told TechCrunch from Amsterdam. The shoe business has officially closed as of yesterday, so that's all done. The first task that I'm tackling right now is rounding up the leadership team, looking for somebody to lead infrastructure operations, for example. Call it a Billionaire Ambani wants AI in every call, app, and home. As India searches for a homegrown contender in the global artificial intelligence race, billionaire Mukesh Ambani is positioning Reliance Industries as a national champion, rolling out AI services for phone calls, mobile apps, and connected homes. At its annual shareholder meeting on Friday, the Mumbai-based conglomerate announced GeoCall Agent, an AI assistant that can join phone calls to transcribe conversations, generate summaries, and perform tasks such as booking cabs, ordering food, and making reservations. The service, which can be activated by saying, "Hey Geo," is expected to launch later this year for Geo's more than 500 million users. By embedding the service directly into its telecom network rather than offering it as a standalone app, Geo is betting AI assistants can become a native feature of phone calls. The approach could reduce consumers' reliance on third-party call assistant apps and give Reliance a powerful distribution advantage in an increasingly crowded AI market. Reliance also unveiled an AI-powered version of its MyGeo app that can perform tasks on behalf of users, from activating ESIMs to selecting roaming plans through natural language requests. The calm AI inference startup Baseten reportedly raising 1.5 B months after its last mega round. AI inference company Baseten is close to finalizing a stunning $1.5 billion funding round at a $13 billion valuation, the Wall Street Journal reports. Just 5 months ago, the startup announced that it had raised a $300 million Series E at a $5 billion valuation. And that round was just 9 months after raising a $150 million Series D if finalized. This latest round would represent a 160% increase in valuation in less than half a year. However, the WSJ reports that this is a split-priced round, a tactic startups are using to boost their headline valuation and make lead investors look good on paper. Some investors in this latest funding round are reportedly coming in at a $13 billion valuation, while others at $11 billion, sources told the Journal. This deal is said to be co-led by Spark Capital, Sands Capital, Altimeter Capital, and Wellington Management. Launched in 2019, Baseten is a startup benefiting from what the next wave hailed the inference gold rush, in which VCs are pouring enormous amounts of money into companies building the inference layer. Inference is what the model does after a user submits a prompt. Baseten promises to handle inference quickly while controlling. Rocket report, rebuild begins at Blue Origin launch pad, Relativity targets Mars. Welcome to edition 8.46 of the Rocket report. We don't mention Starship in the body of this week's report, so I'll give a brief update here. The next test flight of SpaceX's mega rocket, Flight 13, could happen as soon as next month, according to Gwynne Shotwell, the company's president and chief operating officer, in a recent interview with CNBC. There's still a fair bit of work to go before Flight 13, so don't count on a launch next month just yet. What we do know, based on Shotwell's comments to CNBC, is the next Starship test flight will look alike like the previous one last month, with a suborbital flight path and a splashdown of the ship in the Indian Ocean. SpaceX is holding off on an orbital flight until at least the following launch, Flight 14, after the ship was unable to complete a critical engine restart in space on the last flight. As always, we welcome reader submissions. If you don't want to miss an issue, please subscribe using the box below. The form will not appear on AMP-enabled versions of the site. Each report will include information on small, medium, and heavy-lift rockets, as well as a quick look ahead at the next 3 launches on the calendar. ISAR test. The U.S. says ASML's top chip tool may be in China. ASML says it is. According to Bloomberg, U.S. Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick has, in a series of recent meetings, told senior ASML executives he's concerned that one of the Dutch chipmakers' extreme ultraviolet lithography machines, the EUV systems that are the only tools on Earth capable of printing the most advanced semiconductor patterns, may have ended up in China. That would be a major breach of export controls that have barred ASML from selling EUV to China since the first Trump administration. It's a serious claim. Senior administration officials told Bloomberg they have evidence that ASML shipped EUV-related components and transport equipment to China, though they've declined repeatedly to show it to Bloomberg or, apparently, to ASML itself. The company says no such machine exists in China and has never existed there. The Commerce Department didn't respond to Bloomberg's questions about whether it has evidence of an actual EUV system on Chinese soil. You might think this isn't worth paying attention to if you're outside the chip industry, but it is. ASML is a Dutch company most people have never heard of, but it is, by a wide margin, the most important company in the global AI. That's all for this news briefing. Thanks for listening.